So which metric should we care about the most right now? Market cap, transaction volume, liquidity lock, community size, hash rate, system growth rate, etc. So, to me, I would say the metrics that we want to concentrate on right now would, well, of course, hash rate. That's an important one to look at. Um, Transaction volume, not well. I mean, transactions are subjective. They're relative to what we're talking about here because we are talking about the UTXO model, which is not about the TPS race. It's about what's in the transaction. So again, it's relative to what we're talking about. And community size is also a good metric. Basically, if you see more people joining, that means there's more buzz, more excitement, right? More chances to introduce people to Ergo, more chances to get people interested in the Ergo ecosystem. So to me, that's also a really good metric to look at. So what about you, Joe? What would you say is the metrics you care about?
I would say hash rate's got to be number one. It's always got to be security first, right? Number two would probably be ecosystem growth rate, but I would look at that more on the development side. Meaning, are you actually building things that are useful, are going to bring utility to the system, and have a future? There's a lot of coins in the, let's say, crypto ecosystem that if you really look at kind of their development path, it may have already reached its end, right? There's not a big future you can grow into it. When I see projects that have, let's say, a really long roadmap, use, utility, flexibility, and their developer ecosystem is growing, to me, that's interesting. Community size is important, but it really says nothing about engagement. Liquidity locking, it's kind of the same thing. Sometimes you can have just, let's say, one whale that has a massive proportion of the value in a blockchain ecosystem, and if they lock their liquidity, you get a really impressive number. And to some degree, you do get like supply side shortage of that token, but it doesn't necessarily indicate too much in every sense. Transaction volume, yeah, we have UTXO, so you can have one transaction with, I think it was netted BTC had like 5,000 outputs in one transaction, so that's kind of hard to gauge. Market cap, we live in a pretty crazy world, so there are a lot of market factors that are always subject to crypto ecosystems. So is it important? Yeah, but it's always moving, so it's hard to gauge, not only where it's moving now, but where it's moving in the future. So security and development is really the two things that, long term are critical out of all of those.